Hey guys, everyone see us here, the Bootstrap Rainmaker, and today I have a really cool message for you guys. The proven Facebook listing promotion system that will help you sell your listings faster even if you have no experience with Facebook ads. Okay, now this is going to be one of the topics I go really in depth in my upcoming training, the Property Listing Accelerator, so be on the lookout for that. Alright, so what are these new Facebook ad rules and that make it super simple to promote your listings? Okay, and what does it have everything to do with how many listings you're selling or not selling as a real estate expert? Okay, now before we dive into this, if you guys think that anyone that you know could benefit from this message, please share it down below, or better yet, tag their name in the comments down below. That way they get notified. All right, what happens when you guys share this, it lets me know that you guys like this topic, that you guys like these videos, and that'll let me know to continue making cool videos just like this one. All right, does that sound fair? All right, cool. Let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so what are these new Facebook ad rules that make it super simple to promote your listings? All right, so if you've been following my videos, one of the things, we always start off with this really simple equation. The more exposure you have, the more offers you're going to get, okay? When you have your listing, the more exposure you have, the more listings, the more exposure you have, the more offers you're going to be getting, all right? Now, particularly, we're going to be talking about Facebook. Now, Facebook has made some changes recently. You guys may have heard they got in trouble last year. And what they ended up doing is they took away a lot of the options when it comes to doing your Facebook ads, right? You're really limited only to interest-based type of ads. Okay, we can no longer really zero in on people who are in market, right? We can target people who have interest in buying real estate, but no longer true in-market home buyers. We're also going to be touching a little bit on Instagram here. Now, Instagram is great for branding. Okay, it's not so good for lead generating. Now, there are some exceptions to the rule, but as a whole, Instagram is really good for just building your brand. Now, if you have when you're promoting your listing, Instagram's great for just getting a lot of exposure out there, a lot of exposure on the property, all right? So let's talk about this new Facebook method, this really simple Facebook method, all right? The first thing I want you guys to do is to define a buyer profile. So let's say you go to your listing appointment, you close the listing appointment, high fives for everyone, yay! All right, but now let's get to work, okay? In the Property Listing Accelerator, this training that I'm coming up with, I talk about how this is your number one skill that you have to master, is being able to sell your listing, because otherwise you're going to get stuck here in your real estate career. You're really not going to move forward if you really can't master the skill, this number one skill of being able to sell your property. All right, and it all starts here. Defining the buyer profile, okay? Now, what that means is, let's say it's a first-time home buyer, right? Or maybe it's a family that is upgrading from a 3-bedroom home to a 4-bedroom home, or maybe from a 2-bedroom home up to a 3-bedroom home. Or maybe it's over 55 and they're looking at retirement communities. You got to look at your home and kind of get an idea of the age range of the potential buyer, okay? Now, this has a lot to do with your local market, right? Now, if you're looking at a townhome or condos, usually those age ranges are going to be lower. If you're looking at a listing price of maybe 400,000, 500,000, maybe 600,000 and above, your age range is going to be a little bit higher, maybe in your 40s and your 50s, right? So it's important that you kind of have an idea of the age range of the more than likely the buyer, right? The buyer that you more than likely will come to the table. Next thing is you have to have an idea of the income level of that buyer. Again, this has a lot to do with the listing price, right? If the listing price fits a first-time home buyer, then you're going to know that the income level has to fit a certain age range as well. That has a lot to do with how we start promoting your property. All right. And again, that differs from market to market, right? Income levels in, let's say, a city like Seattle versus a city like San Antonio or like Las Vegas or like Kansas City, all of those things, they're all different. So it's at this point that you just need to have, get yourself a piece of paper and just start writing them down. What you start building this buyer profile, Okay. The other thing is are they gonna be relocating, or are they gonna be local? Really, what that means is, in your particular market, for this particular listing that you're promoting, do you think that the buyer will come from around the corner, right? If it's going to be, for instance, if it's a family that's just upgrading, those are usually from around the corner. 3-5, between a 5-mile radius or so. They want to keep the kids in the same school district. Then again, let's say you're in an isolated community somewhere up in the mountains, right? Those buyers are usually going to be coming in from relocation. Maybe you're in a town that's isolated. Like maybe you're like Sedona up in the mountains somewhere. Those people are going to be coming from relocation, right? So again, just start building your buyer profile. All right. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to create a really simple page called a bridge page. And you probably have heard this. This is one of those terms right now. It's all the rage. But if you've ever heard a term called the landing page, a bridge page, opt-in page, squeeze page, they're pretty much all the same thing. Really what it is, it's a page that collects leads. You don't give away all the information about the property. Now that's so important, because that's one of the biggest mistakes I see new agents and even experienced agents do a lot, is when they start promoting their property, they send everyone straight over to the property page that has all the information on it. Well, what that does is it takes away the opportunity for you to start generating leads. And one of the things I go in depth in the Property Listing Accelerator is this term called the buyer journey. Okay. Now, when someone comes when they start searching for homes to buy, all right, they're on a journey. Okay. They're depending on the price point of the home. The higher the price point, that buyer journey is usually longer, right? If it's a home that's valued $600,000 or above, after doing this for about 10 years and tracking it really, really good, I've been able to narrow it down that if it's $600,000 or above, that home buyer is doing their research up to a year out. All right. First-time home buyers and lower price point homes, they're in it quicker, right? They're going to be looking to jump into their home within about 3 months. All right. What that has to do with the bridge page is that it collects leads and allows you to follow up with them. So this is a big part, right? This will not only help you sell your property, this property that you're promoting, but it's also going to keep your sales pipeline full by having other leads out there. All right. You're going to be creating 2 types of pages here. You're going to be creating one that I call a coming soon page, and this is pre-MLS, right? So once you leave that listing appointment, to get your phone, walk around the property, take some pictures, take some video, raw footage, right? They don't have to be very, very professional type of images, but we're doing this just so that we can run a coming soon pre-MLS. And when you learn how to do this right, you can actually bring a buyer to the table even before it hits the MLS. The other one that you're going to be doing is you're going to create something called a just listed page. And this is also a bridge page. They're very similar, but this is for once it hits the MLS. And again, bridge pages, in the training that I'm going to go into, I show you how to create these things really fast. These need to be fast for you to make. All right. But the big thing is you don't give away all the information. You don't give away the price, and you don't give away the exact address. You can allude to the community or to the area of town, but you do not give away the address. All right. The next thing is you're going to start promoting your bridge page using these new Facebook rules. All right. So let's jump into these new rules. All right. The big thing, there's 3 big things that have changed in Facebook when it comes to targeting, all right, in real estate. First one is you can no longer differentiate. You cannot send your ads just to one gender, right? It has to be both male and female. Both men and women have to see the ad. You can't choose between. So by default, it is both. Next one is you cannot choose the age range, all right? You can't say, I only want to promote to 25 and above, or 35 and above, or 45 and above, which makes it a little difficult, especially if you have higher price listings, because they are going to get shown to 20-some-year-olds. All right, that's just the way it is on Facebook now. The next thing is you cannot target by zip code anymore. You can only target by a 15-mile radius of a city. Okay, so it's pretty much you can only target at a city level. All right. Now those right there really, they don't allow us to target in-market audiences anymore. Okay, because we cannot choose those things, those demographics anymore. Facebook is still good. Don't get me wrong. We can generate a lot of leads on Facebook still, but the quality of the lead, when I say the quality of the lead, it's we can only target them because they've shown interest in real estate topics. We cannot identify them as being true in-market audiences. But let's talk about the next part. Interests include. Now here, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys this. This is the list right here. All right. If you target this list right here of people that show interest, you can still get a really, really good lead volume off of it. So take a look at this. Take a screenshot of it. Look at that. I'm going to have that in the property listing accelerator coming up. And here's the thing. If a home is valued over $250,000, just remove the following from the list: the starter home and the first-time home buyer. What that means is things like this, right? You just got to make sure that you don't add those in there. All right. Next one is if a home is over, let's say $800,000, you're going to want to narrow it down, add some other qualifiers that they still allow us to do. All right. For one of them is business travel. Like for instance, if you're in the luxury market, you can narrow it down and say they have interest in those topics that I showed you earlier, but they also have interest in business travel, luxury real estate, and a luxury vehicle. By targeting those areas, you're able to better target your in-market audiences. All right. Now that's the really simple method right now. It's actually, because of those changes, you can actually set up your ads much, much quicker. All right. Now what's the takeaway on this? All right. Takeaway is the high volume, low intent. All right. Facebook can still get you a high volume amount of leads, but they have low intent. All right. What does that mean? When we're running our ads, you need to use something called the conversion objective. And for those of you who are not familiar with that, when you're setting up your ad, you're going to be choosing the conversion objective when you're setting it up. All right. The other thing is we're going to be using dynamic ads. Now, again, when you're creating your ad, you're going to be using, when you get to the part where you're going to choose create a dynamic creative. What that allows you to do is this. It allows you to get multiple images, multiple videos that Facebook will automatically start to rotate and find the best one for you. Again, this is one of those little tricks that brings a lot of lead volume because you let Facebook figure it out for you. All right. Okay. And finally, this all has to do again with the buyer journey, especially because Facebook made those changes. That means any leads that we bring in from Facebook, we definitely need to be putting them into a buyer journey. In other words, a sales funnel. If you do that, these leads are still very, very good, but you have to follow up with them. You have to have systems in place to cultivate those type of leads. And those are sales funnels. And again, Property Listing Accelerator, we're going to be talking about that more in depth. All right, guys, that's about it for this lesson. Again, my name is Abel Macias. I'm the Bootstrap Rainmaker. If you guys know of anyone who could benefit from this, please share it below. And then once again, guys, keep on rainmaking. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Hey guys, thank you for your interest in this video. If you guys are ready to go more in depth into listing promotion, go ahead and check out and get access to my free listing promotion training guide. Okay, you guys won't regret it. For more videos here on YouTube, check out our playlist for everything to do with listing promotions. And as always, don't forget to subscribe so you guys can get notified of the next training. See you guys on the next one.